This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe and welcome you to another sports catastrophe on this day. And on this day, January 27th, 1992, Tysons rape trial. Mike Tyson's rape trial continued. Of course, this is a little bit far-fetched. The picture shows him being guilty. He is guilty of the offense. Well, he was found guilty in February of 1992. But basically, Mike Tyson basically did himself in. Now, a little background on Mike Tyson is that he was this street punk, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, he tried to go through stuff, but he had troubles at home and all that, and basically he liked to pick fights. Cutastrophe saw a young Mike Tyson box at age 14 and decided to train this guy to be a good boxer. So he put him in reform school. He put him through a lot of things. No, he took him out of reform school and basically said that I'll train this guy. And Tyson grew with the protege, being a good protege of the model, and basically he learned to channel his anger through boxing. Mike Tyson was a Golden Gloves guy. He almost went to the 1984 Olympics, but missed out, I think, to Holyfield? Or was it to Bowe? I don't remember who. I think it was Rick Bowe who basically ruined his chances to get to the 84 Olympics. However, Mike Tyson basically found his outlet and became a professional. He fought like almost once a month and all that. And he kept knocking out people left, right, and center. He came onto the scene in 1986, taking down Trevor Burbick for the WBA title, or was it WBC title? So basically, he got the heavyweight title from Burbick. And basically, Mike Tyson would be the heavyweight champion for almost 4 years. He was the youngest to win the other belts, the IBF and the WBA belts too. Would it be Tony Tucker for them? He had a few famous fights in the 1980s. One of them was against Marvis Frazier, Joe Frazier's son, but Marvis was definitely not like his father. He easily got knocked out quickly. And Mike Tyson knocked out poor Larry Holmes, who basically was a superstar heavyweight in the 1980s, but he had lost his edge by 88 and Tyson knocked him out. So anyway, Mike Tyson was huge. Unfortunately, Tyson's big problems were outside the ring. Cutastrophe passed away, and basically Tyson lost his mentor and basically lost some pride and all that. But Kevin Rooney basically groomed him into a boxer just like D'Amato. Also outside the ring, Tyson would marry Robin Givens and all that, who was in Head of the Class, a sitcom about brainiacs and all that. But unfortunately, the marriage had troubles. Tyson would basically beat her a lot, and it was actually revealed that Robin Givens had actually managed to get her and her mother into the possession of Tyson's annuity that would have paid Tyson, even if he can't fight, a certain amount of money. Basically, she tried to steal Mike Tyson's money away from him. And basically, Tyson wasn't making as much as he would because of all that. And let's not forget Don King basically getting in Tyson's head. So basically Tyson and Givens finally split up. But when Tyson and Givens had a interview and all that, Tyson looked sedated. But I think Robin gave him some sedatives and all that. I think she had to. Maybe she was after his money. Who knows? I think she was. But anyway, in 1990, Mike Tyson was so dominant that not a lot of American venues wanted to have a fight. So Tyson's next fight would be against Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas really wasn't that good as a boxer. He nearly quit several times and all that. So basically, Buster wanted to be like his dad, who was a fighter himself. But Buster lost a bit of motivation as his mother passed away a week before the fight. So Buster used it as motivation, his motivation. The fight was at the Tokyo Dome in Japan because U.S. Venues didn't really want to have the fight. They thought that Douglas was not going to win. And so basically, one sports book would take the fight and gave 42-1 odds on Buster Douglas, meaning that basically for every dollar you bet, if Buster would win, then Buster Douglas would give you $42. So if you bet $20, then you would get 840 back. So basically, Mike Tyson had done some bad stuff. He got rid of Rooney. He got these inexperienced people to train him and all that. Basically, he was living the celebrity life and forgetting all about his boxing and all that. Boxing seemed second rate to him. Basically, Tyson was distracted outside the ring and all that. However, in round 8, Tyson nearly got Douglas on a KO. Unfortunately, though, Douglas did get up before the 10 count and before the end of the round. So basically, Tyson's camp said that basically Douglas was saved by the bell, but he had to still answer the call of 10. The bell didn't save him. But of course, he lost that appeal because in two rounds later, Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. And basically, everyone was shocked that Tyson could be beaten. This was Tyson's first career loss and by KO of all things. So Buster Douglas was made the heavyweight champion of the world. And Tyson just was rattled. Tyson in 91 was supposed to fight Holyfield in one of the best kept matches of all time. But unfortunately, Tyson got injured. And then his legal troubles started. So basically, Holyfield fought Bert Cooper for the belt. And Bert Cooper almost took down Holyfield in Holyfield's hometown of Atlanta. But Holyfield still won the match. You'd be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Tyson Holyfield for the belt? Yeah, Mr. Doubter's still on vacation. Well, I'll tell you something. Mike Tyson may have lost that fight to Douglas, but there was karma for Tyson fans. Because Buster Douglas didn't take the heavyweight championship seriously. He gained weight. He gained like 30 pounds before his big title match against Holyfield. And basically, he was really out of shape. Worse still for Buster Douglas was that he ate himself heavy into a diabetic coma and nearly died in 1994. But thankfully, he got better. And even got back in the ring for a few fights. But anyway, Tyson was a judge at the Miss Black America pageant. And unfortunately, he picked that time to get to know one of the contestants, Desiree Washington, too well, and looked like he raped her. Unfortunately, Mike Tyson, for how innocent he seemed to be, was basically found guilty. A lot of people did say that Tyson's boasting and basically Tyson's behavior in the courtroom turned off the jurors, and basically the jurors basically made him guilty because, he had the brigadoon or whatever they would call it. Sadly, though, Tyson would be sentenced to 6 years in jail for his crimes. Was it worth it? I don't know. But Tyson got released in 3 years for good behavior. He went back to the ring in 95. He started fighting very well. He ended up KOing Bruce Seldon in under a minute to win one of the heavyweight titles back. I think it was the WBC belt back, or was it the IBF? I can't remember. But Tyson basically was a threat. The old Mike Tyson was back. Unfortunately, Holyfield got in his head. When they finally fought Tyson and Holyfield in 96, Holyfield took down Tyson in the 12th round. But then Tyson's rematch against Holyfield was worse. In the 3rd round, he got opened up with an accidental headbutt. Thinking this was on purpose, he decided to take matters in his own hands and basically bit Holyfield on both ears. Sadly, though, you can't bite an opponent. Why would you bite an opponent in a boxing match anyway? So basically, Tyson was DQ'd and he lost his purse and he's lost his Nevada boxing license. He kept trying to bounce back, and there were times that he looked good. He was fighting Lennox Lewis at one time and almost got Lennox, but Lennox won. Tyson would serve a few more stints in prison for his stunts, and he's more mellow nowadays. Prison will do that to a guy, I hope. But anyway, that's all I've got for this on this day thing about Mike Tyson and the guilty stuff. I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.